How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys, Alex and Ryan. Now, big win yesterday. We won 2 straight games. Feels kind of like a rarity for the Yankees these days, but we are winning baseball games, which is certainly a good thing. And of course, we look ahead to tonight with Domingo German on the mound. Obviously, yesterday, the offense still struggled, I would say. We didn't have Stanton, didn't have DJ, Aaron Boone giving him days off pretty consistently. I don't know if it's health related. I don't know if it's maintenance or just kind of getting their mindset right. But the Yankees are trying to give them some opportunities to rest up and come back healthy. And Johnny Brito, man, holy hell. What a performance from the burrito yesterday. He was on fire. Having struggled in AAA, struggled in the MLB, stepping into that contest, nobody expected what we saw. His changeup, dude, was electric. I don't know if you saw him. I mean, it might have been hard because you were at the game to see exactly where those pitches were going, but I watched the whole thing, every single freaking pitch, and he was dotting the corners with that changeup. The opposing batters had no idea what was happening with it, and it was really, really impressive to see how great he was. But today we're going to talk about one of the more underrated players for the Yankees the past 2 weeks, and a guy that stepped in to help supplement the loss of Aaron Judge. Has he stepped in and replaced Aaron Judge? Absolutely not, but he's doing his best, and obviously it's difficult to do, and his numbers are pretty solid considering what the Yankees expected from him. But we're talking about Billy McKinney today, a little segment on how well he's performed over the past couple of days and how he's kind of been saving the Yankees' butt recently. But Ryan, before we dive into the good stuff, how you do today, my friend?
I'm doing well. One of the big things that I saw from yesterday's game, obviously outside of, Brito pitching really well, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure he's throwing a sweeper as well as a curveball. I know it was listed as a curveball, but if you look at what he threw to righties versus what he threw to lefties, it was listed as a curveball. The sweepers had about 10 inches less of vertical break and way more horizontal break. So, that's something I think he's needed for a while. I always felt like, Brito needed a sweeper or something to deal with right-handed batters. So that's always impressive. But really, the standout guy from yesterday's game, and Jake Bauers had a home run as well, so that's our dog right there. But Billy McKinney, man, I mean, he's kind of come out of nowhere, right? When we called up Jake Bauers, I feel like, not that there was buzz, but there was some, there was some excitement or some, conversation to be had about how he was doing in AAA. When McKinney came up, it was different. It was like, I guess he's just here and he'll come down in 10 days and, we'll go from there. But now he's a big part of this team. He's a big part of this lineup. He's doing a lot of things really well. Number one, he's making good swing decisions, which I feel like is something that, obviously that's going to help you do very well, but it's something that really a lot of players struggle with, and that's going out there and not chasing, swinging at good pitches to swing at, making consistent contact. These are things he does very well. His sweet spot percentage is way up, and sweet spot percentage is a really important metric for us to look at because it's important. The reason it's important is because it allows us to evaluate, just like how we look at barrels, where that's a really strong quality of contact. Having a good sweet spot rate means that you're putting the ball you're hitting the ball at the right launch angles, at the right exit velocities, for you to generate hits and generate batted balls that'll give you success. He's doing a really good job at that. He had a 109-mile-an-hour home run, which I thought, that's the hardest ball he's hit all year. That's, I think, the third or fourth hardest hit ball of his career. He's barreling the ball consistently. He's making a lot of contact. Overall, I think McKinney's doing a lot of really good things at the plate. Obviously, you want to see a bigger sample size, but from what we've seen so far, a lot of the trends are positive here. And if the Yankees found something in McKinney, this could really help this team, especially come the deadline, where we've talked about this frequently. There are not a lot of options available. So definitely excited and definitely interested to see what Billy McKinney can bring to the table as he continues to get more playing time, especially with guys like Judge out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at what Billy McKinney has done for us lately. I mean, you kind of reference some of the metrics, but, 317, 333 OBP, a 171 WRC plus, 3 homers. Look, if this was a 162-game season right now and you extrapolated his home run kind of pace, he'd be on pace for 40 homers this season, guys. He's hitting a home run every 4 games. That is pretty good for a player who we didn't even know was in the AAA system a couple of weeks ago. Like, I forgot about Billy McKinney. I thought they were going to call up Estevan Florial. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, who is this guy? Of course, he's a former first-round pick from Oakland. This is a player that has a ton of potential, ton of talent, and he's only 28 years old. Like, you forget, he's still pretty young. He has had some struggles at the MLB level. His best season before this probably came in 2018. He played only 38 games, had 111 WRC plus. Like, he hasn't really gotten that many opportunities. He played 116 games in 2021, but he was really bad. I'll tell you this. I kind of feel like McKinney, this could just be a little hot streak for him right now, and he's just kind of riding the wave of this confidence that he has. And we've seen players like this in the past for the Yankees. But supplementing Aaron Judge has been very difficult, especially when Josh Donaldson looks like he hasn't played baseball his whole life. Yesterday was one of the most feeble things I've seen from a player in my life. I mean, I posted it to the Fireside Yankees Twitter account. He's swinging aimlessly. Like, he's not even trying. Or maybe he's trying. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there, which is kind of embarrassing considering how little it looks like he's trying. But it's hard to kind of sit here and fathom that a player that was once an MVP caliber talent is swinging at fastballs like he doesn't know that he's never seen them before. Ryan, you saw it in live action. What was the reaction like to Josh Donaldson kind of striking out, popping out, really offering no legitimate offensive support? I know the stadium was booing the crap out of him. I could hear it through my TV, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts, having been there.
Yeah, no, it's rough for Donaldson right now. And, he's a guy who was hitting the ball hard when he first, was reinstated from the IL. I know a lot of it was in garbage time, but, good swings are good swings, and you just wanted to see signs of progress. But considering the season he came off of last year and considering the fact that he hasn't hit the ground running, the Yankees are going to have to pull the plug pretty soon, right? Do you give it more than a couple of weeks? Probably. I think you give it more. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, and I understand why it won't happen tomorrow or today or in a week from now or, hell, even 2 weeks from now. But really, I look at the July deadline as like, hey, if he's still here and these are what his numbers look like, I'm sorry, he can't. He should not, and he cannot be the third baseman of the New York Yankees. We're trying to win a World Series. Winning a World Series has to come first. Winning a World Series has to be, or at least, winning games has to be the priority. Obviously, it's harder. It's easier said than done to win a World Series. And I'm not sitting here and saying that the Yankees not winning the World Series automatically means everyone has to get fired or something like that. But what I am implying here, what I am saying is that if the Yankees aren't putting their best foot forward to win games, there's a reason fans are upset. I saw that Hal Steinbrenner quote on the Michael Kay show talking about like not really understanding why fans are upset. And I kind of understand what the perspective is, which is like, if you're declaring a season over in June, it's a little bit hypocritical because a lot of fans say all that matters is October. And last year when the Yankees got off to that really good start, a lot of people were like, hey, it doesn't really matter because they haven't won the postseason yet. So in that same vein, if you're struggling, it shouldn't matter until you get to the postseason. But at the same vein, struggling is struggling, and there's going to be frustration that comes with struggling in the regular season. That doesn't go away just because, a couple of people feel that way. I don't think you and I completely disregard the regular season. I think you and I value the regular season a lot. We understand the importance of seeding. We understand the importance of building momentum. We understand that performing well in the regular season typically correlates to performing well in the postseason. We also understand that things can happen that are unexpected. We're not, we're not completely oblivious to that. But there's a balance between it. And I feel like, understanding that there's going to be a level of frustration that comes with not putting out your best roster, and fans are going to feel that way, and they're justified to feel that way. So, end of the day, I feel like the Yankees need to put themselves in a situation where at least at the deadline, they try out their best roster. You've got the prospects you feel like can coming up. You've got the dead weight off the roster. I think that Donaldson's starting to look like dead weight. And as you mentioned, the stadium was, I think they're fed up with him. I went to the game with someone who isn't even a Yankees fan. He's fed up with Josh Donaldson. So he's a Mets fan. Like no one can stand the guy anymore. He's either got to perform better or it's not going to happen here.
That's absolutely right. It's not happening. And ultimately, the Yankees are not keen on promoting Oswald Peraza, right? Like, that's kind of been the sentiment communicated to us. Brian Cashman literally said it. Oswald Peraza needs more development. He needs to finish off his development. That was what he said verbatim. So, you tell me. Does Anthony Volpe need more development? Yes. They sent Oswaldo Cabrera down because he needs more development. But Peraza's been good in AAA. Like, he's deserving. He's a Gold Glove level defensive player. Anthony Volpe booted a play yesterday that Gleyber Torres saved him on. And Volpe's been a little bit of a liability at times defensively. And, I have to say, like, Volpe's had some really good positives. The stolen bases, what he does on the base pass is next to none. And his home runs, 10 homers in a good year. And Ryan, this is why I'm excited about Volpe, because if he can turn it around in the future, like let's say next year he starts off fresh and he has a good season, he could hit 30 homers. Like, he could be a 25 to 30 homer type of guy every season. He's on pace for like 20, 25 right now, probably closer to 25 right now if he continues to play at an everyday rate, and he's not playing well. Like, Volpe hitting 25 homers in his rookie season not playing well would be extravagant, would be unbelievable. But for the time being, He struggles in other categories. Obviously, we hope he can turn those things around. We think he can. It just takes a little bit of time. He's a rookie. He's really young, 22 years old. You have to give him that little bit of sample size to kind of pick things up. But guys, I'd love to hear your perspectives below on Billy McKinney. Definitely an interesting player that has provided a lot of value for the Yankees since Aaron Judge's injury over the past couple of weeks. He's really won them some games just based on those home runs and some of those clutch hits. I mean, the first game against Seattle, he literally won that game for them with the 2-run homer yesterday, had a solo shot. So he's been picking up the slack and doing a lot of good stuff. I really do think the Yankees are getting way more than they bargained for from him, and I think it's coming at a perfect time. But as I said, make sure to like and subscribe below in the YouTube comments. Always happy to have a good conversation. We'll enjoy the rest of your day. We have another big game today with Herman on the mound. Appreciate it as always, and catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.